see what Teacher Roseo does next.
Class, I think we have too many circles. Perhaps we can put together some ideas in order to have few big circles. So, which ideas do you think can be grouped together? Yes? BJ?
Sir, I think it's the ethnic groups and the Igorots.
So what can be used as a word to group them? Roma?
Sir, can we use people?
Do you agree that we can use people?
Yes.
Okay.
What did the teacher do this time? The teacher guided the students to arrive at organized ideas using the idea map. While this is a lesson on adjectives, the teacher sought to provide a context-embedded situation for the activity where students, first, use the language meaningfully. Second, use the strategy to remember information so they could compare the three places. The language lesson on adjectives ends with students being able to make a tentative decision based on description and facts given about each place. Let's see what happens next.
Now, class, I'd like you to read some selections I got from magazines about Subic, Pagsanhan, and Baguio. You have a lot of background information already about the places, right? Okay, now I think you are well equipped for the selections that I am going to give you. If by chance you come across unfamiliar terms, what strategies may help you? Okay, Deborah.
I'll use my dictionary, sir.
Dictionary will do. What else? Okay, the first one who raised his hand, Jerry.
Sir, I will try to find out if there are context clues.
Good. And what else can you do? Michelle.
I may ask you, sir, or somebody to help you.
That will be fine with me for as long as it is not included in the quiz. Okay? For now, I'd like you to read the selection. And after reading, I'd like you to outline the information you got about each place. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but for now, I'd like to have a short recap on outlining. Do you remember the lesson?
Yes.
Sir.
Okay, let's do it.
What did you observe? Yes, the teacher in this classroom situation proceeded to the reading lesson. He provided reading materials to the students to give additional input content-wise. He selected an academic task which paralleled the cognitive process employed in the language lesson. Organizing information. In the reading lesson, however, he asked the students to use the conventional outline, a variation of the idea map done earlier. Now, let's recall what Teacher Au did in her English class.
In fact, it's very commendable that the leaders use appropriate words to describe the places. Now, who among you can recall some of the adjectives the leaders mentioned in the report?
In her language lesson, she had an activity on adjectives similar to Teacher Roseo's activity. It was one meant to be purposeful and meaningful to the students. In her reading lesson, Teacher Au did a typical lesson with reading selection as the stimulus for comprehension exercises done after the reading period. Let us reflect on Teacher Roseo's lesson. In the language portion, the teacher focused on a cognitive activity, the purpose of which was to organize information using adjectives. The reading lesson parallels lessons, skill-wise and content-wise. In the reading lesson, the students were asked to outline information gathered. This is an organizing information skill. In both language and reading lessons, students talked about places using adjectives. From the lessons of Teacher Au and Teacher Roseo, we may infer that, first, language skills instruction can sometimes be highly compartmentalized as seen in Teacher Au's lesson. Instructional linkage in the grammar and reading lessons was not evident. Second, strong instructional linkages or integration in reading and language is possible as seen in Teacher Roseo's lesson. Organizing information was taken care of in both, using similar topics. Third, integration could be content, topic, or skill-based. Teacher Roseo linked his language and reading lessons in terms of content and skill. Which do you practice? Integration or compartmentalization? Research in language education provides convincing pieces of evidence on the advantages of instructional linkages among the different language areas. Compartmentalization, as researchers claim, destroys the naturalness of the use of language. Many reading educators, too, favor the integrated approach over the fragmented curriculum in the language arts. Instructional atomism poses the danger of weakening the natural purpose of language, that of communication of meaning. Instead, instruction may turn the language into a mere set of abstractions, unrelated to the whole language needs of students. Let's explore further how reading may be linked or connected with the other language arts. But before we do that, let's pause for a few reminders. Don't switch channels.